What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Playbook. I'm sorry for leaving you guys for 2 weeks, but we're back, and we're going to come at you with a great episode today. I'm joined by Aiden behind the board, Jackson, Brandon, and how are you guys at spring breaks?
Me first?
You
I'll
first.
go first.
You too.
Yeah. I had a good spring break, good time. Watched a lot of beautiful March Madness, a little bit of college wrestling also.
Ooh. Okay. Jackson.
Man, I watched a lot of March Madness too. Got to go to the World of Coke. It's not Coca-Cola World. I recently found that out last week. Thank you, Jason Barker from Triple Threat, and the aquarium as well. So, it was a pretty good spring break.
Brandon, you got a little haircut.
I did over here right next to the college. So, but I spent my spring break
Great
mostly.
Beautiful.
Sports clips?
No, I was about to say I'm way more bougie than those. Trust me.
Ooh. We ain't getting no sponsors from them, that's for sure. My spring break was pretty good. A lot of working, so making some money. But other than that, today's episode, we're just going to be talking a lot of March Madness, some college baseball, and ended off with a special segment of Who's That Campus Legend. Just football players for today. But let's start it off with some college basketball.
We're good.
So basically it's the tip-off because it's the beginning of the show, but it's halftime hoops. So there's been some good games these first two rounds, but it's been a kind of disappointing March Madness. But a team that is kind of surprising that I didn't expect to make it past the first round, Arkansas. Jackson, you've been looking at this team for a little bit. I don't know if you had them going far, but what are your thoughts on this team?
Look, I had Arkansas honestly losing to Kansas in the first round, and I hate to say it, John Calipari has had success with this Arkansas team. If y'all are now just tuning in, this is your first time tuning into the Playbook, I am a Kentucky fan, and that's why I hate to say this. Now, I'm looking at the past coaching. There was legendary coaching matchups when it came to Kansas, and then the second round, they ended up beating St. John's and Bill Self and Rick Pitino. Now, John Calipari is known for, back when he was in Kentucky, he was known for only starting freshmen who hadn't really played in those big games, and it's looking like he kind of switched that around when he had a change of scenery in Arkansas. He brought over 5 players from Kentucky, notable names as Carter Knox, Boogie Fland, Big Z, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but clearly that has shown success with this Arkansas team. You also have guys like John L. Davis and Jonas Adu scoring 22 points and 18 points in the first round against Kansas, and then you look at this St. John's game. Arkansas didn't win this one. St. John's lost this one. Now, let me further explain before, Brandon asked me the question. St. John's was held to 28% field goal percentage, 9.9% from the three, only making 4 out of the 41 attempts. Despite having the best defense this season, that perspective, Brandon, I kind of have to back off of that because, St. John's didn't, win the game against Arkansas. So Arkansas, they go against Texas Tech. I don't really know because March Madness is a sporadic. So I don't really know.
So it has been too sporadic this year.
It has not. It's been very basic this year.
Yeah.
But it sounds like someone's jealous over there, Mr. John Calipari, and what he's doing over there in Arkansas.
I'll get into it a little bit later, but my Kentucky Wildcats made the Sweet 16. So I'm not too mad.
John Calipari and Kentucky, the breakup's working well for both sides right now. Everybody's doing better than they were together.
We'll see what happens in the future.
I'm just a little sad about St. John's losing to Arkansas. That was my Final Four team.
MIDness.
That was one of my Final Four teams. Yeah, I'm a little upset about that. But another big game that happened in the round of 32 was Florida versus UConn. Now, Brandon, you were watching this game.
Right.
What did you think about it?
I think that this was by far the best one-seed matchup that took the court on the round of 32, the best game out of those.
Okay.
Because I think you had Dan Hurley coming off of 2 national championships. You have Florida, who was the last team to win 2 straight national championships, trying to defend their court right there and saying, hey, you're not going to win 3 in a row, so you're just going to be tied with us. You're just going to have to be fine with that. And I think really Florida in this game, they just took control early, and then UConn started to come back in it. And then Florida, my biggest concern with Florida in that game was the fact that they were missing late free throws. And I think that to be a team that's going to advance really far into March Madness, you're going to have to be a team that makes those late free throws. Like, they got lucky that UConn couldn't capitalize on a lot of those opportunities late in the game. And also, Florida, that was the first time I've seen a team out-rebound Florida this year.
Yeah.
UConn was getting offensive rebounds out of nowhere that I haven't seen anybody go up and do against Florida. And that's been one of my things that I really do love about Florida, is the fact that they're able to out-rebound literally every single team that they take the court against.
Look, not saying that this is an excuse, but those two UConn teams that went back-to-back had guys like Stephon Castle, guys like Donovan Clingan, who could get boards easily. The only returning two guys from this UConn starting lineup was Solo Ball. By the way, Solo Ball, if you're listening, you sold my overline in this latest parlay. And I know Joey running TriCaster, had UConn winning the whole thing, and I know he's probably upset about that too. And you also have Alex Caravan. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So not saying that's an excuse why this UConn team lost. UConn put up a great fight, but Florida is too dominant when you're looking at that.
Yeah, this game reminds me a lot of the Houston and Gonzaga game that also happened. I don't want to get too much into it. Gonzaga gave me false hope at the very end, but Houston had the lead from the start, and they never looked back. But one of the biggest games that I want to talk about that is probably the greatest game of the tournament so far, and nobody expected it to be, is Maryland versus Colorado State. Now, Maryland, before this tournament, their last 4 losses were all off of the last possession, which they didn't want that to happen again. So Maryland trailed by 12 in the first half and was down by 7 at the break. But the Terrapins worked their way back in the second half. Derek Queen led Maryland scoring with 17 points, and each of Maryland's starters, which I just found out were known as the Crab Five.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But
you didn't hear about that nickname until just now?
Not until just now.
Man.
But all of their starters scored double figures, and Maryland's bench totaled just 2 points. Jalen Lake for Colorado State drilled a three-pointer over Derek Queen with 6 seconds left to give the 12th-seeded Rams a 71-70 lead. But Derek Queen wasn't going to let that happen. 6 seconds left. He takes the ball top of the key, drives left, goes over 2 defenders, shot goes in at the buzzer to make Maryland go on to the Sweet 16. And this was just the only buzzer beater, which is very surprising to me, but the best game of the tournament so far, in my opinion.
I do want to say in that matchup, there's a lot of people that's seen the video of the buzzer beater. I do want to say that was not a travel.
Oh, my.
Look, he lost possession of the ball after he took that first step, and he regathered possession of it, took 2 steps, and then he shot. So,
yeah, a lot of controversy in that game, but Maryland moved on. A lot of people expected that to happen, but going on with that, this March Madness has been terrible. Yeah. I just talked about that being the only buzzer beater that has happened so far, and there weren't a lot of upsets like you would expect. The Colorado State Rams were the lowest seed left in the tournament after round 1. And this is the first year there hasn't been a team seeded 11th or lower in the Sweet 16 since 2007.
Yeah.
There were 3 main teams that really got upsets in this first round: Colorado State, Drake, and MIDness with Amir Ora Khan as their manager. Now, Jackson, I know that you love this MIDness team. You picked them to win round 1, and they did. And
actually, I did not.
You didn't.
I had Clemson going to the Final Four. Yeah, that was a terrible pick. Brandon, you bought me into the Clemson hype. No, hold on. If everybody missed, very quick before I get into this MIDness stuff, Brandon bought me into the ACC Clemson hype. If y'all missed last episode where we went over conference tournaments, everybody around here picked Duke besides Brandon. Brandon, you seem like a knowledgeable guy. You seem like you're super high on Clemson. So I'm like, Clemson has a great roster, has a better roster than they did last season when they made the Final Four. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? Why not put them in the Final Four? You let me down, Brandon. Do you have anything to say about that?
I had Clemson in the Elite 8, okay? So
I did too. He bought me into the hype a little bit too.
Nah,
They were the better team in
I still
that.
believed in them beating McNeese State.
And you know who else was a Final Four team that got eliminated for me? Can I talk about a
Go for it.
game between BYU and Wisconsin? I was heading out of a Rascal Flatts concert in Savannah, and I pull up my phone. John Tanji missing that last shot made me so upset, bro. So upset. And I'm like, my bracket's cooked. But then I realized JT picked Gonzaga, and I felt better about myself.
Yeah.
Hey,
Can we talk about how horrible of a shot that was by John Tanji,
Yeah.
though? And the fact
Oh,
it
my.
didn't look like there was any original play design there at all. They were just like,
Yeah.
give him the ball and see what happens.
Yeah, that's what Maryland did with Derek Queen, and that worked out for him. But
But
Wisconsin did not have that same luck.
yeah, but following back to this Will Wade move to NC State, if y'all did not know that, and again, also bringing Oricon with him, and Oricon,
Possibly. Allegedly.
So if y'all don't know who Amir Khan is, he was the grad assistant for McNeese over the past year, and he went famous and he went viral for walking out with the team with a big yellow boombox. And honestly, I think that just brings more aura to this NC State team. But let me talk about Will Wade. Will Wade is no stranger to coaching in big conferences, formerly being the head coach of LSU, leading them to a 105-51 total record during his tenure in at LSU. The only reason he was fired due to recruiting violation allegations. But then he accepted the job at McNeese like a season and a half later, leading them to back-to-back March Madness bursts. So I think he's a great coach, despite the allegations. So, we'll kind of see how he has his coaching playing style heading into ACC play next season.
Yeah, this move's a little bit questionable to me for NC State. They continue to bring in coaches from very low-seeded teams in these tournaments. They
Yeah.
continue to bring them in. When are they going to realize that's not the answer? Because they've been doing this.
I mean, yeah, it kind of works out. They went to what did they go to? The Final Four last year?
the Final Four last year,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
been it.
It's working out. They're getting better because you bring in the coaches who can build these smaller programs.
Yeah.
You give them ACC resources, and it's going to work out if you have a good coach and
I don't
good
know.
resources.
I think you had a guy there that kind of proved to all of us that he could have led the program in the right direction. I mean, you don't get much closer than a Final Four.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is tough
It's
to
a
go to the Final
questionable
Four and then get fired the year after. But when you think you have a guy like Will Wade has proven with the right resources at LSU, well, he went over the line with the resources. That was the problem. But with the right resources, he could build a team that could go to the SEC, that could go to the NCAA tournament and contend. He was competing for SEC championships and competing for Final Fours, and I think he'll do the same thing with NC State.
Yeah, I really I bought into it. I saw TikTok. I saw all of the TikToks of McNeese with Amir Khan leading his team out. I wanted to buy into the hype so much.
I should have known.
I just didn't think it was going to happen. And I was so sold on Clemson. Like you said, Brandon talked you into it. He talked me into it too. I saw Clemson and I was like, I wasn't looking at him too much. But then I realized, hey, they're a really, really good team. And this McNeese team, are they really good besides the fact that they have one of the best walkouts of all time? But other than that, with coaching moves, Sean Miller going from Xavier to Texas. Now, this is funny because Texas lost to Xavier in the first four. Now, Brandon, me and you were talking about this earlier. That's just hilarious.
It's a move that I completely don't understand as a moral construct. I don't think that I could go take the court against someone and then when they wind up beating me, being like, oh, okay, yeah, let me just try and swindle my way into that coach and go and bring him into my program.
Kevin Durant, famous Texas alum, clearly making some decisions behind the scenes there in Austin. If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
That's Kevin Durant's motto, and Texas is taking a page from his book.
Look, I want to throw out a little analogy very quick. It's like Brett Favre leaving the Packers. I know he went to the Jets before that. But going to the Vikings, the Vikings. It's like that.
I don't know.
It's questionable. I
don't think I'd go that
moral
drastic with it because, I mean, Packers and Vikings are
yeah,
they're
but still, it's a
rivals
team
with each
that,
other.
You beat in the first four. So.
But, I mean, I do want to bring up the fact that also these two teams have met back in 2023 in the Sweet 16, and Texas wound up beating them that year.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of history here with Sean Miller and Texas. So we'll see where that goes. But me as a person, I don't know because if I was a coach, I'd have to be morally invested in everything that's going on within the program.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I could straight up just leave the team that I have, even if it was going to go join the team that we had just beat.
Yeah, I saw a lot from Sean Miller, from Xavier, but I don't understand really going after a coach that just beat you. I understand, like, obviously that means he's a good coach, but, like, how's that supposed to help you out, you know?
Well, he beat you. I mean,
How's it?
he knew something you didn't
Yeah,
if he's winning the game.
Xavier got eliminated right after that. So, or, yeah,
They went
Xavier.
further to Texas.
They did go further than Texas, but, I mean, I don't know.
And, I mean, it's a thing where Xavier is not the same as Texas. Xavier does not have the same boosters behind the program that Texas has behind the program.
That is true.
If you give someone those resources, and they've built the same level of program, like you said, they played them in the Sweet 16. They've
Yeah.
lost to them in the first 4. Xavier is on a similar level to Texas with much less resources, much less recruiting pool. And Sean Miller has built that program to compete with Texas. So
Yeah.
if you give him the same resources that was available to Coach Beard at Texas, he can take it to the next level and take it further. That's the goal with the hire, I believe. And I think it's a good idea. I think that he can take the next step for this program.
Yeah, that's the thing with Texas being a bigger school than Xavier, way bigger. You have a lot bigger recruiting pool. A lot of more players want to go there. They're going to want to play, and it'll end up being a good team anyway.
And then also on the lines of coaches, Dan Hurley. How do we feel about Dan Hurley around the table? Because this is a very polarizing coach.
I'll say it. I love Dan Hurley. I love a fiery coach who's out there fighting for his guys for 40 minutes a game. There's not a moment that Dan Hurley is not out there playing just as hard as his players.
Well, here's my thing
On the
with this.
sidelines.
Like you mentioned, fighting for his guys. There are times where I look at Dan Hurley on the sidelines, and it looks like he's literally going to fight for his players to these refs. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me kind of being like, hey, take a step back a little bit. I get being intense. I get standing up for players if you don't think there's a foul that should have been called, or if there's one that you don't think should have been called. But I just really do not think that every single foul warrants him going on a tantrum and almost coming out to mid-court in the middle of a game.
Look, you gotta look at your actions on and off the court. Dan Hurley has his heart engraved in UConn. People don't remember over the summer, Dan Hurley was offered the Lakers head coach contract, and he took a pay cut to stay at UConn just to go back to back to back. That didn't happen this season. They still were led to a round of 32 berth. Look, Dan Hurley plays with grit. He plays with heart and dedication. So you kind of
Plays with heart.
Plays with heart. Yeah, you kind of have to look at Dan Hurley in his attitude towards the game. Look, Dan Hurley's a great coach. I think he will continue building up this UConn program, maybe bringing it back to it was the past 2 years. Yeah, but I don't have too much of a problem with Dan Hurley. It's just dedication he's showing.
Yeah, if he was that intense and that angry, and UConn was 7-25 every year, it would probably be tiring. But if your team wins back-to-back national championships, they're out there fighting with 1 seeds to go to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Leave your heart out on the court with your team. Nobody's questioning Dan Hurley's commitment to his guys, and his guys show it back to him, and they go out there and compete just as hard as he does. It works out for UConn. I love Dan Hurley, I got to say.
Yeah, with this tournament lacking madness in the name. It's in the name. March Madness. Dan Hurley knows how to bring the madness to the court. Get him out on the court, which he did walk out there. Get him out on there. Have him play the games. At this point,
Have him suit up, dude.
you got to do what you got to do to make a three-peat. But, Brandon, you're looking really good in that Hitman Heart shirt.
I appreciate it.
Where'd you get it?
Brett the Hitman.
I got it online. I don't even remember the website that I got this from, but I do remember I got it online.
Okay. Well, what if I told you that when it comes to fandom, nothing matters more than the fit? The logo that you wear solidifies your love. Now, all of us are sports fans, right? Mm-hmm. We love to rep our team. We love to rep jerseys, hats, shoes, literally anything that represents our team. But what if I told you all that you can represent your favorite college radio station? You can be a Wolf Sports Network fanatic with our brand new merch store powered by Ozera Apparel. Visit wolfsportsnetwork.com and click About. Now, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit more college basketball, previewing some games, and then we're going to talk about some college baseball, so don't go anywhere.
shadowing the board. He's running through a WHIP program right now. Brandon, how you feeling, baby? Welcome to
I'm
Sports
feeling
Pack.
great being on here for the first time.
And we can't wait to meet you once you join us.
Wolf Sports Network is content heaven for a sports fan, but their show Sports Pack is my personal favorite. Sports Pack airs on Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7 on Wolf Sports Network, filled with fresh personalities, funny moments, and piping hot takes, along with call-ins that allow listeners to get in on the action. Check out Sports Pack every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Wolf Sports Network is going to have you covered with content for every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Sports Pack is bringing you all the news in the sports world today on Mondays and Thursdays at 6. Sports Out of Pocket is bringing you sports commentary with a comedic twist on Wednesdays at 5. And sit back and relax and grab your favorite snack because Triple Threat is bringing you the chill content on Fridays at 11. And the Playbook is going to be bringing you all of the sports news going on in the college world on Tuesdays at 6. So make sure you're tuning in Monday through Friday for all the content Wolf Sports Network is bringing you this semester.
It's a brand new season, and you know what that means. A brand new series.
Bootleg Jackson Cook.
Mark my words, by the end of his career, Nolan Arenado will be better than Chipper Jones.
Jackson Cook.
New short series, exclusively on Wolf Sports Network YouTube.
Bootleg Jackson Cook.
Make sure to like and follow on all socials for more content.
Sign up early for your fall meal plan and get rewarded. Free coupon book valued at $150 with basic or Pack 7 plans, or $300 for Pack 21, Wolves, or Pack 10 plans. Be part of the pack. Share meals, make memories, and fuel your success. Hashtag hungry like a wolf. Hashtag UWG meal plans. Let's stay on this topic of college basketball.
It's Page off balance.
It's time for halftime hoops.
So we did just talk about some of the games that already happened, but let's talk about some games coming up. So we all have a game that we are really looking forward to in this Sweet 16. And Jackson, I'm going to kick it to you first. What's your most exciting game in this Sweet 16 matchup? And I can already tell what it might be.
Look, as I said before, I'm a Kentucky fan, and, you know, I've been let down by this Kentucky team, like the past few seasons. You know, we lost to St. Peter's, we lost to Oakland and Jack Golke, and I don't even know where Jack Golke is at this point. But we had a shift and change heading into this season, bringing in Mark Pope, who had a lot of success at BYU. And I know Aiden mentioned last segment, he talked about resources. And you see these resources when you have coaching shift and change. And what does that lead to? You get a lot of transfers that have a lot of success on a new team, such as Jackson Robinson, who came along with Mark Pope at BYU, averaging 14.6 points per game before, unfortunately, he had a season-ending wrist injury. And, you know, that also brings in other transfers, not along with just that head coach, like Otega Owe. The dude's been like insane, especially when it comes to rebounding and also averaging like 17 points per game. He's been our top scorer since Robinson went down, coming in from Oklahoma. And then you also have Lamont Butler, and you have Amari Williams, a guy from Drexel. Now, Kentucky is playing their SEC rival in Tennessee. Now, a lot of people have disagreed with me around this table, and I'm looking at it for the Sweet 16 matchup. Kentucky took down Troy and Illinois. Tennessee took down UCA and Wofford. And JT, I believe you mentioned it. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said Kentucky has looked better than Tennessee in the March Madness so far.
I think it's debatable.
Due to their matchups.
I think it's debatable. Kentucky might look a little bit better, but I feel like Tennessee is going to get their stuff together, and they're going to figure this one out.
Look, I'm hoping to get predictions around this table because I believe this is a really close matchup. Now, the past two appearances, Kentucky has beat Tennessee without their top three guards due to injury, like Lamont Butler, Jackson Robinson, Kurt Krissa. And I believe that it can happen again. Kentucky has shown dominant size on both ends of the ball, offensively and defensively, out-rebounding their past two opponents by, I believe, 4 or 5 rebounds due to this. So I want to kind of throw it to Brandon. Please give me hype in my own team, since you gave me hype in Clemson and they let me down.
I'm gonna go with the orange and white again, buddy. I'm gonna go with Tennessee on this one just because I love Chaz Lanier and I love what he's able to do.
What's your score prediction?
I'm gonna go 77-67 Tennessee.
Ooh. All right. I'm also going to go Tennessee, but I feel like it's going to be closer than that. I think it's going to be 74-72.
Kentucky scares me a lot.
Yeah.
Because they can either score
They're inconsistent.
more than any team in the country and play enough defense to win the game, or their offense is just going to be ice cold. They're going to lose by 20. So it concerns me greatly. I'm going to go with Tennessee. I think they're the more consistent team. I just feel better about picking Tennessee than I would picking Kentucky. Give me a cold day for Kentucky. Give me 74-57 Tennessee.
Jackson. You're a Kentucky fan. Remember that.
I know.
Who are you picking?
You know, I didn't buy into my team winning the Super Bowl. I didn't buy into my team the last time Kentucky played, and we discussed it on the playbook. But I am buying, and I'm cashing in all my chips on Kentucky in the Sweet 16 matchup. I think it's going to be really, really, really close. Kentucky pulls it out 78-72. That's my prediction.
I hope that works out for you.
I was about to say that same thing. I hope that works out for you, man. But maybe this time, now that you're picking with them, they're going to lose.
Hey, we'll see what happens.
But there's another game that isn't really expected. Nobody expected this to be a Sweet 16 matchup. Arkansas, number 10 ranked Arkansas, the lowest seed, which is just insane to me, is playing against number 3 Texas Tech. Brandon, give me your thoughts on this game.
So I really think that everyone here had St. John's and Texas Tech going up against each other right here, which honestly to me would have been a really good game, but I'm kind of glad we get Arkansas and Texas Tech here. We get a higher seed in Texas Tech that's a 3 seed, and we get 10 seed Arkansas. And we get John Calipari still going in the tournament. And even though Texas Tech is favorited in here, I think that you have one of those legendary coaches like a John Calipari that can go in and make the difference in a game to where he can possibly even lead them to where they can upset Texas Tech like he has against Kansas, like he has against who do they upset in the second round?
St. John's.
St. John's, yeah. So Texas Tech, I do want to give a shout out to JT Toppin on Texas Tech. They've had a whole lot of injuries through this team this season, and they still might not even have Chance McMillan back, who's their third leading scorer on the team this season. But JT Toppin has really stepped up for the team and had a double-double in both of those first 2-round games that they had, including scoring 28 points in that first-round game. So I think that Texas Tech runs away with this one, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. So,
all right. I have Texas Tech winning this one as well, but you can't, like you said, you can't count out John Calipari, one of the greatest coaches of all of college basketball, like of all time. You can never count him out. I do expect this to be a close game as well. I expect a lot of these to be close games, but I got Texas Tech winning this one 85-83.
I'm going Arkansas.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Arkansas. I don't think Texas Tech has the depth. They only play 7 guys a game on average, or usually they only have a 7-man rotation. And this Coach Cal Arkansas team is ready to run the floor with them all night. I just think they wear them down. I don't think this Texas Tech team has the bodies to play with Arkansas for 2 halves, not 4 quarters. I'm going to take Arkansas in a grinded out 68-65 win.
Ooh, I like that.
Look, now I originally had Texas Tech making it to the Elite Eight, beating out St. John's. You're right, Brandon. I did have St. John's, and I'm pretty sure most of the people around this table did. JT Toppin, again, double-double in both of those games against UNC Wilmington, and JT's one of his favorite teams, Drake, because I know he's a big Drake fan. But again, I want to kind of retract my statement very quick. Because, I said I have hate for John Calipari, seeing him successful. I want to thank him for all the success he brought to the Kentucky Wildcats team. I just don't like seeing the success that he's having with another team. So that's kind of my statement on that. Now, when it comes to this Texas Tech and Arkansas matchup, Boogie Fland has looked fantastic, putting up 23 points off the bench. And, again, Calipari doesn't start fresh, or has started freshmen in the past, shifted that, and it's worked out for him. Texas Tech going against Draco and UNC Wilmington. Honestly, I want to split the board. I'm going to side with Aiden Aby over here. I don't know if he's going to dat me up or not. He's not
No,
going to dat
he's
me up or
not.
not.
I'm
But
not
I think it's
really
going to be a close
nice.
matchup. I think Arkansas pulls it out 72-67.
All right. Well, Aiden, what game are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to this Purdue v. Houston game. Now, Purdue was a team that I had exiting the tournament early. I thought that High Point was going to catch them out.
Oh, yeah.
I really believed in that High Point team, 2 starting fives, that they could just switch out interchangeably. Such a fun team, but they fell short.
They did not get high points.
Nah,
They did
nah.
not.
Hey, they played well. They just needed to shoot a little better down the stretch. This Purdue team has the really good. Forget his name right now. He's a little bearded white point guard. Looks like
Braden
Julian Edelman
Smith.
out there.
Braden Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Braden
What's your
Smith. Big Ten Player of the Year. I couldn't remember his name.
You like-
He's absolute dog. I'm very interested to see him take on this Houston defense. This is the best defense in the country in Houston against probably one of the best scorer facilitators in Braden Smith in the country. It's a matchup that I'm really interested in seeing. I think the Houston defense can shut them down. They shut down everybody else that they faced this year. So I'm going to take Houston defensive matchup 68-59 Houston.
I really like that pick. And I got to say, Houston against Gonzaga looked like a really good team until the very end when they kind of let up a little bit. But Houston's just looked like a way better team than Purdue in this tournament. And I got to agree with you. Houston win this game. Very defensive game, but I have Houston winning 70-58.
I wasn't really high on Houston coming into the tournament. In fact, I thought they were possibly the worst 1 seed in the whole entire tournament. But I've been pleasantly surprised by what they've been able to do. I'm not super high on Purdue. I had them also losing a High Point in the first round of the tournament.
Ain't
We've seen how that
tonight.
worked out. And I think Houston wins this. It's going to be low scoring. It's going to be physical. I think Houston gets it, I'm going to say 71-58.
Look, I wasn't super high on Purdue with the loss of Zach Edey, thinking they were going to have a lot of regression. I'm surprised with this Purdue team so far. And with this Houston team, I completely agree that they're probably the worst 1 seed heading into the tournament. When I'm looking at this, I'm going to have Houston pulling out against Purdue 74-68.
So it's a full sweep. Everybody picks Houston in this one. Now, the game I want to talk about, which might not sound like a great game when you talk about it. You think that there'd be one clear winner, but number 6 Ole Miss against number 2 Michigan State. Now, by the sounds of it, Michigan State, Tom Izzo, great team. But Ole Miss basketball, Sweet 16 for the second time in school history. Number 6 seeded Ole Miss faces number 2 Michigan State on Friday. Coach Chris Beard and the Ole Miss Rebels beat number 11 North Carolina 71-64 and number 3 Iowa State 91-78 to advance to the Sweet 16. But the Spartans, led by Coach Tom Izzo, have beaten 2 double-digit seeds in their march through the bracket. Number 15 Bryant 87-62, which don't let the score tell you anything. Michigan State looked like they struggled a little bit in that game. And number 10 New Mexico 71-63. Now, from what I've seen, Ole Miss looks really, really good. And Michigan State doesn't look like they're playing like a 2 seed. They look more like a 6 seed. If these numbers were swapped, I wouldn't be very surprised. That being said, I think Tom Izzo gets it together. Michigan State looks a lot better than they have been playing in this tournament. This should be a great game, but I got the Spartans winning 85-81.
No. Michigan State has flat out looked bad in this tournament. They haven't shown up whatsoever. They don't look like a 2 seed. Ole Miss is playing way above where I thought their ceiling was going into the tournament, and Michigan State's playing below their floor. I think it's classic. One team doesn't show up, one team does. Give me Ole Miss easily, 85-73.
You're going to count out Tom Izzo, though?
Yes.
All right.
Look, I had
Confidently.
I originally last playbook I said Michigan State was a Final Four team. I kind of switched it up to an Elite 8, and honestly, I had Ole Miss losing to North Carolina in the first round.
I did
but
too.
Chris Beard is he's a great coach. He had a lot of success at Texas. I'm looking at this. I think Michigan State does rebound after shaky play against Bryant, and then their round of 32 matchup as well. So I got Michigan State, again, close one, 74-72.
Michigan State, really, I think y'all covered it a good bit. Like Michigan State just hasn't looked good in these first two games against Bryant and against New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been super impressed with them as someone that picked them to win my national championship. But I do still have faith in Tom Izzo and these Spartans.
Yep.
And I have Michigan State winning this game. I do think Ole Miss makes it a game, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know Ole Miss comes in here red hot. Michigan State comes in here to where they might be able to step up to the occasion. But they're going to have to play better than they have been. Yep. And I think they do, and I think they win. Let me get it 74-68.
All right. So 3-1 there, the outlier being Aiden. But let's talk about some college baseball.
It's time for the 7th inning stretch.
You heard it. It's time for some 7th inning stretch. And our West Georgia Wolves traveled to Athens today. Something's happening right now. We have the game up here.
Yes.
We just scored our second run.
And that'll cut the lead to 9-2.
It's 9-2.
West Georgia's on the comeback.
Live update in the top of the 4th inning.
Yep.
West Georgia is still batting. And
one out. We have 2 guys on base, too.
Hopefully we have a great inning here. But let's talk about these rankings. Now, we have 2 Georgia Tech fans here, obviously. They're ranked. Isn't that exciting? It is. Isn't that exciting?
Well, I know the Georgia fans. I know it's like, oh, you're ranked. That must be exciting.
That must be great.
Like, that's just where you guys live. But
Isn't that exciting?
Georgia Tech baseball, like to have both the football and the baseball team ranked within season. The basketball team didn't quite get there, but they finished strong. But I think that this is a huge thing for the program moving forward too, simply because now we're not ashamed to be Georgia Tech fans.
Right.
We can actually kind of like trash talk a little bit to people.
Yeah.
And it's like an area that we're not really in a whole lot. But I mean, to highlight this Georgia Tech season so far, they're 20-4 and they won 7 of their first 9 ACC games against Virginia Tech. They just had a sweep against Notre Dame last weekend, where they outscored them 36-14, including run ruling them on Friday. And I think that the 2 biggest reasons that Georgia Tech is where they are is the lineup. The bats get hot really quick for the team. And they have one of the best duos that I think in the entire country in Drew Burris and Alex Hernandez, who's a freshman and a sophomore. So if Drew Burris just decides to stay another year, which, please, we're begging you, Drew Burris, just stay with us another year. We can work this out. We can get to a World Series. Trust me.
Yeah, sticking with rankings, Jackson.
Hold on.
Oh.
I want to comment on
You want
Georgia
to comment
Tech
on
a little
Georgia
bit.
Tech? I'll let you
I
comment
want
on
to take a
Georgia
look
Tech.
forward to this weekend where they're hosting Clemson, a top 5 team at home. It's going to be a huge matchup where Georgia Tech can add to the respect. Give me a series win. Let's move up into the top 15. Keep the ball rolling.
If we can win 2 of those 3 games, come out with that series win, who knows? Maybe we get in the top 15.
Yeah.
Maybe we move up to around 14, 13. I don't know. Baseball rankings are crazy. Teams shift up and down all the time. We may beat Clemson and move up to number 1.
And looking even further than that, I want to really get hopped. I want to start building up this matchup between Georgia and Georgia Tech coming up on April 15th. It'll be on Tuesday, right after the show wraps up, at 7 p.m., playing at Truist Park. And if Georgia Tech can win this game, I might be the happiest man on the earth. I'll be really honest with you.
I can guarantee you're not, because I'm going to be right there beside you, and I'm going to be the happiest man.
But staying on the topic of rankings, Jackson, tell us these rankings in college baseball.
Yeah, now talking about the shift in the rankings, I'm looking at this. Florida drops in the rankings after being swept by Georgia. Texas A&M also happened to get swept, dropping out of the top 25. And I know we had a conversation earlier a couple weeks ago on the Playbook. We were talking about, should Georgia be panicking? I think we had the wrong conversation. We should have been talking about, should Texas A&M, who has Jace Laviolette, you know who I'm talking about, as well. You thought, Texas A&M was going to surge and be at the top of the rankings during this season as well, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Also, other big moves is UC Irvine is the highest ranked newcomer at 19, and UCLA is also ranked in the 24th spot as well.
I want to give a live update. West Georgia is now down 4-9.
Let's
we just
go,
hit a
baby!
2-run shot, and we're coming back into this game. Now, as much as I love Georgia and as much as I love West Georgia, this game tears me apart. I'm always going to go for them Wolves, so that's huge for us. But let's not go anywhere because when we come right back, we are going to do some Who's That Campus Legend.
This is Aiden Navy from the Playbook, and you're listening to Wolf Sports Network.
Wolf Sports Network is going to have you covered with content for every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Sports Pack is bringing you all the news in the sports world today on Mondays and Thursdays at 6. Sports Out of Pocket is bringing you sports commentary with a comedic twist on Wednesdays at 5. And sit back and relax and grab your favorite snack because Triple Threat is bringing you the chill content on Fridays at 11. And the Playbook is going to be bringing you all of the sports news going on in the college world on Tuesdays at 6. So make sure you're tuning in Monday through Friday for all the content Wolf Sports Network is bringing you this semester.
Hey, do you want to be a part of Wolf Sports Network? Yeah! Well, I have some good news for you because you can join us. Woohoo! So if you want to learn more about this, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com and click WIT Sports Program. With becoming a WIT, you expand your knowledge in the sports radio world and join our ever-growing family.
New face over there, you're not tripping. We got my guy JT over here shadowing the board. He's running through a WIT program right now.
Brandon, how you feeling, baby? Welcome to Sports
I'm feeling
Pack.
great being on here for the first time.
And we can't wait to meet you once you join us.
Wolf Sports Network is content heaven for a sports fan, but their show Sports Pack is my personal favorite. Sports Pack airs on Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7 on Wolf Sports Network, filled with fresh personalities, funny moments, and piping hot takes, along with call-ins that allow listeners to get in on the action. Check out Sports Pack every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7, only on Wolf Sports Network.
It's a brand new season, and you know what that means. A brand new series.
Kool-Aid Jackson Cook.
Mark my words, by the end of his career, Nolan Arenado will be better than Chipper Jones.
Jackson Cook.
New short series, exclusively on Wolf Sports Network YouTube.
Kool-Aid Jackson Cook.
Make sure to like and follow on all socials for more content.
College students who binge drank alcohol at least 3 times per week were roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or project as a result of drinking. That is why the Crafty Rabbit Meadery has joined Wolf Sports Network's and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign to remind students drinking should be done responsibly and in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculty will not take hangovers as excuses. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce the 21% of adults with low literacy skills. We are collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pre-K student monthly. Give today by visiting wolfradio.com/bookdrive. That's wolfradio.com/bookdrive. Now let's get into some Who's That Campus Legend. Reggie Bush, Johnny Manziel, Jimmer Fredette, Christian Leitner. What do these guys have in common? All these players know what it's like to be a campus legend. You heard it. But this episode, we have a special one because we didn't talk about football already. We're gonna keep on the football segment. We're gonna do all football players for this Who's That Campus Legend today, and I want to kick it to Brandon to go first.
All right. All right, are we ready for it?
We are.
I'm prepared.
He's Miami. Where he went to college.
Thinking The Rock.
Dwayne, that's a good pick.
Dwayne
That's a good
Johnson.
pull.
Crazy.
I agree with that.
I'm thinking of one, but
All right, you want the next hint?
I do.
The quarterback.
Crap.
I got it.
A Miami quarterback.
Okay.
I do. I'm going to
Carson Beck.
Lock it
Jackson's
in.
locking in at 4. I don't got it.
Yeah, that's insane.
All right, he was in the 2003 NFL draft.
I already lost. I shouldn't have done that.
7th round pick,
Oh my
253rd.
7th round? How is he a
I already know
legend?
who
He's a
is.
campus legend, okay? I promise you, he's
He
probably
is.
the greatest quarterback in Miami history.
Brad Kaya wants to have a word with you.
Buddy, no.
My cousin actually had a
5th round
class with
pick,
Brad
Brad
Kaya.
Kaya. That's who I was. I was on the Brad Kai train, and I'm off the Brad Kai train. I have no idea.
No idea. Also, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and try and drop some guesses in the chat. We'll read it off after. If you get it right, you'll get a shout out.
I'm going in there to start stealing answers right now.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not on there right now. I promise you guys.
You said that earlier about the guessing game.
He played from 2003 to 2010.
Oh, in the NFL. Okay.
He was in the league
in college.
Yeah.
7th year senior.
Yeah, this was before you could play college football for 20 years.
Brandon knows about that.
Brandon famously on his 14th COVID year.
Who's
I don't got it.
What are the teams? What's your? I'm already out.
What's your last
Are
name?
you going to write down anyone, Aiden, or do you have a guess
you have
at
one
all?
more hint.
I actually know who it is.
49ers and Browns are the two teams that he played for.
I got a name.
Dude, how was this guy campus legend if he was a 7th round pick?
He won a national championship.
Title, yeah.
Yeah.
I just
so you
don't
know
who
who
it
it
was.
I am going to give you that last.
That was the team that Sean Taylor was on, correct?
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This. Is,
I don't have a guess.
Yeah, I don't. All right.
All right.
Can we put up our boards?
So put up boards, buds.
Yep. Put them up.
Dear King.
It was Mr. It's Mr. Ken Dorsey. That's who it
Ken
was.
Dorsey?
Yes.
Oh my.
National
He's the offensive coordinator
championship
for the Bills. How do you
quarterback.
not know this, JT?
Shout out to Ken
I don't
Dorsey.
know his childhood.
Not as good as Derek Oh.
This.
All right.
Nobody got this.
All right, Jackson, since you want to be a little smarty,
Impossible.
you're going to go next.
All right. This guy, his college, Oklahoma State.
Ooh. Oh, I'm torn between like 4 people right now.
Oklahoma State.
Not a lot of guys.
It's
Not,
gotta be.
not a lot of football campus legends over.
If you give me position, I feel like I'll be a
might get
lot
it if you
better.
do that.
I think this is too high. Wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. No.
Oklahoma State wide receiver.
Oh, gosh.
I think I shouldn't have done it too high. Brandon's gonna get it.
I'm going to get this at some point. I know for a fact I'm going to get this. I just don't know his name.
Does it count if I don't know how to spell it?
No. Wait, yeah. Wait.
If the name is phonetically right.
Yeah. If it's said the same way. Yeah. 5th overall. Wait, I say the
I
draft
remember his name. Let's go.
In what year?
in 2012.
Yep, I know this guy.
All right, I've got it too. I'm pretty sure.
I'm blanking. How do you guys remember his name?
This guy had so much aura over there at Oklahoma
This
State.
guy, legend.
I know.
So
I know who it is. I can't think of his name.
Aiden locked in for what?
3.
3 points.
Yeah, for
And
3.
you
Brandon,
I locked in for 4.
Or do you want to keep? You want me to keep
Give
going?
me that.
He
next
played
hint.
2 years from 2012 and 2013.
Oh, come on.
And he was out the league by 2014.
Give me the
was
last hint.
horrible.
Team he played for, singular team,
Mm-hmm.
the Jaguars.
Ah, yeah, that was the hit that I was looking for.
Yeah. JT, you got it. Just throw out a guess, man.
I'm running his name through my brain right now, but for some reason it's not wanting me to write it down on paper or on the whiteboard.
Make sure JT's not looking up.
I haven't touched my computer.
All
Oh, it angers me so bad that I don't
Just
get
write
this.
down the name.
All right,
All right, put something down there.
I'm putting something down.
And it is, I really bought into the hype of this guy.
Hold on,
All right.
I got to flip.
And then, he had
Everyone did.
3.
2, 1.
Justin
Just
Blackman.
like Jackson Vol.
Jackson Vols.
So, Justin Blackman, Jackson Vols. JT, that was a great guess. Honestly, I
He's
don't
not a
know.
legend though.
It is Justin Blackman.
So 4
Again, I
points.
bought into the hype of
Let's
that.
go.
But again,
Two-time Biletnikoff winner,
Yeah.
Justin Blackman. The only 2
So
years he
since,
played.
I feel like since JT wasn't the only one who got it right or got it wrong, I feel like he should go next.
All right,
Yeah, go for it.
All right. This player went to LSU.
That
Really narrows it down,
Yeah.
bud.
Very
Yeah.
much narrows it down.
Yeah.
This player is a wide receiver.
I shouldn't have guessed. De'Aaron
Oh, that
King.
narrows it down even more. I mean, it does narrow it down a little bit.
Why did I guess De'Aaron King? Keep going.
12th overall in 2014.
It's one of two players. It's one.
I'm
of two
gonna
players.
lock this in.
It's one of two players.
Brandon's locking in for 3.
It's one of two players. It's one of two players.
It might be one of two
I think
players,
it might
guys.
be one
It's
of two
one
players.
of two players.
Should I give out the next hint?
I
Yeah,
would
just
love
do
it,
it.
yeah.
Just do it. This is gonna solidify
Whoa! All right, Justin, I'm sorry. Giants Super Bowl winning quarterback Russell Wilson reach agreement on a 1-year deal.
Oh,
Russ
Wow.
to the Giants.
Russell
it. Russ to the Giants is
That's
crazy.
wild.
That's
All right, well-
that's live. All right. All right. The
Breaking
years
news.
played: 2014 to 2024.
Oh, so yeah.
10 years in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. See, it could still be two guys.
no,
No,
because one guy.
one of them
Yeah, I'm
didn't play as
locking in.
long.
So that's locked in for what? 3.
You locked in for 2.
Two.
You locked in for 4.
3.
3. Aiden's locking in.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's that, 2?
When I list off the teams, you'll 100% get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Giants,
Nope.
Browns, Rams, Ravens, Dolphins.
Okay, cool. I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, no, I did not get it.
All
I
right.
don't think I did. At least.
And
It'd be
flip
pretty
your
embarrassing now.
boards.
Jarvis Landry?
Jarvis Landry.
Odell.
You
got Sterling Shepard.
That's a good pick. It's Odell Beckham.
I was between Jarvis and Odell for me,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, no,
So
I just
I
blanked
get
on Odell, to
you're
be
adding
honest
the
with
2
you.
points.
You get 2
to me.
points there.
To me.
All right.
Thinking of Odell Beckham.
And Aiden, you are the last one.
Okay.
Oh no, he's gonna pull a Charlie Ward.
I want to say
My player.
Daniel. All right, 1 second. Daniel Cheney did guess Odell Beckham correct, and Joey Prater, our TriCaster, did guess Justin Blackman correct. So shout out to you
3
guys in the
points for each
YouTube
of them.
comments.
Let's go.
All right, Aiden.
My player went to North Carolina State.
What?
North Carolina State.
I'm gonna lock in.
Oh,
I'm gonna lock in
Whoa.
here. Okay.
Really?
Let's go.
yeah, he's walking. I mean, why would he lie?
Yeah.
Wait.
Nah.
Wait. No, I don't.
They're
have
showing-
it. I lied.
Wait.
I lied.
I don't got it.
Okay. He plays defensive end.
DN North Carolina.
I got that wrong, but I know who it is now. I know who it is now.
So it's a player in his
It's a
40s.
DN. He went to school with Brandon.
Went
Got
to
it.
school with Brandon, most likely.
Just give us the next one, Aiden.
Yeah.
All right. He was drafted 5th overall in 2018.
Dude.
Ooh, wait.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Yep, I got it.
Dude, I'm so bad at this game.
Yep.
I'm 100% getting last.
My dad just texted me, "You guys suck." So
I got it. Wait, fifth overall in
Thanks,
2018.
Dad.
Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
5th overall in 2018. Right?
yeah, that's
And
correct.
that's locked in for how many points?
3.
Okay, I know who it is.
Okay.
Give me the
Hey,
next
I
hint.
took a chance.
Okay. Wait. It's years now.
Years.
He's played 2018 to 2023.
Okay, so he's already out of the league.
Wait.
Hey, I took a chance. I took a big swing. Sometimes you hit
Well,
them, sometimes you don't.
He didn't appear in any games in 2024, but he was not out of the league.
Okay, so he's
Okay,
not
so
a
I
bad
got it right.
player.
I get
Just
it
give
right.
you a little help. Nothing?
I don't got it. I'm gonna
All
need the
right.
teams.
And for his teams, he played for the Broncos and the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, got it.
So he's locking in for 1. I'm locking in for 3.
I hope this is right. A lot of players go from the Dolphins to the Broncos,
Yeah.
Brandon for 5.
but I'm pretty sure this is right.
Brandon got it wrong. He
Brandon
said.
for 5. Brandon's
Yeah,
got it.
I knew
let's
four.
go one at a time here because I want to see what
Yeah.
Brandon's.
I have Phillip Rivers.
That's a great defensive
NC
end.
State legend.
Great pass rusher in his
All
time.
right. JT.
No, you go.
Yeah, you locked it for 3. You're up next.
Bradley Chubb.
That is
Bradley
correct.
Chubb.
Bradley Chubb. Points for both of
I
you.
got 1 point. That really
Great
cuts the lead down.
performance.
So I
I
got
don't know. Phillip Rivers
I
has to
think
have
I'm in
some
the
kind of
lead
move.
after
Jackson
this.
locked in for how many?
3.
That was 3. All right.
You got 1.
And I got 1 there. All right, the scoring's very, very close. At the end of this episode, Jackson is in the lead at 14. Aiden is in second at 13. Brandon is in third at 12. And I'm right behind you all at 5 points. But it's all right. We'll get the hang of it. But thank you all for joining us today. This is JT, your host, joined by Aiden, Jackson, Brandon, and shout out to Joey for TriCasting for us. He's been great, and we will see you all next week.